Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. Always a pleasure to be here just about every day to talk about my favorite thing in the world, professional wrestling. So let's get right into it. ACH, one of the top stars in the world, in my opinion, has announced his retirement from pro wrestling. Wrestling Inc. Reporting says veteran pro wrestler ACH has announced his retirement from the sport. ACH took to Instagram today and posted a black square with a statement on his retirement. He said, "No need for the dramatic or emotional wordplay. As of today, I will officially step away from professional wrestling. Thank you for all the support and love." ACH wrote, says ACH began wrestling in February 2007, and he worked for several promotions. But ACH, actually, he says ACH said he was quitting the business back in December 2019, shortly after his WWE departure. But he has continued to wrestle since then. He later expressed remorse over how he handled the WWE exit. But as of right now, ACH is retired from professional wrestling, and that's a little sad. I'm a big ACH fan. ACH was doing some good things in MLW. Most recently, he aligned himself with the Von Erichs as they were battling Team Filthy. He had a very very good match against Tom Lawler on MLW, and I know he has in the past been in the New Japan Super Juniors. I was hoping to see him there again in the New Japan Best of the Super Juniors, but as of right now, it appears ACH has retired from pro wrestling. Will he be back? That's only ACH knows. Never say never in professional wrestling. I know Leo Rush has just recently retired as well, also stepping away from professional wrestling, which is also very sad. Also a big Leo Rush fan. Hopefully, one day they'll miss the sport and they'll want to come back and entertain the fans again, as only they can. But big loss, in my opinion. ACH, very very talented, as I said, and he'll be missed. I'm an ACH fan. He's had some tremendous matches that I've seen, and I wish him nothing but the best. I wish ACH nothing but the best of luck in the future, and hopefully he will come back. Like I said, like it says in here, he said he was going to step away in December 2019, but he continued to wrestle. So maybe he needs to do a little soul searching, and he'll be back. Fingers crossed. Hopefully he will be. But if he doesn't return to professional wrestling, I mean, he's been wrestling since 2007. Maybe it's time for ACH to do something else. That's perfectly fine. Um, of course, you say it's perfectly fine. I mean, of course, I don't have a choice in the matter, right? Of course, it's going to be perfectly fine. It's ACH makes the decisions for ACH, and I wish him nothing but the best. Whatever he wishes to do in the future, I wish him nothing but the best of luck, and hopefully, we will see you again in the ring one day, ACH. All right, so Paul Wight of AEW may be making his in-ring debut very, very soon. Wrestle Talk has reported out. It says it seems like Paul Wight, the former Big Show, could be making his All Elite Wrestling in-ring debut pretty soon. As part of the promotion for the recent Forbes article covering AEW, a number of wrestlers, including Paul Wight, had a photo shoot in the ring. Paul Wight appeared to be wearing some new ring gear that we've never seen him in before, seemingly suggesting an in-ring return might be coming in the not too distant future. So Wrestle Talk, um, based on Paul Wight wearing ring attire during a photo shoot, they're speculating that we could see Paul Wight returning to the ring very soon. I know Paul Wight said he was getting that itch again. It was a few weeks ago. It was online articles. Paul Wight said he was getting that itch again to get in the ring, and I always thought that he's coming to AEW. He's doing the commentating on AEW Dark, but I always thought that we're going to see him in the ring sooner or later, and I think we're going to see him in the ring. I think Paul White's going to make his in ring debut for AEW very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it was in New York. We're going to talk about that shortly. AEW coming to New York. I'll touch upon that in a few moments. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see that debut in New York. I know he's I was gonna say he's very popular in New York, but he's popular everywhere. Paul White, everybody knows who Paul White is. But you gotta think who Oh, I almost knocked the wire out of the microphone. I'm getting so excited. Paul Wight's making his AEW in-ring debut, possibly. But who would be his first opponent? Who would be his first opponent? You got to think. Number of names come to mind. Lance Archer would be a good first opponent. Brian Cage would be a great first opponent for Paul Wight. Ethan Page. I think Ethan Page could just get under Paul Wight's skin and just week after week just start insulting Paul Wight, and then you just until you just want to see Paul Wight knock out Ethan Page. I think Ethan Page would be a great first opponent for Paul Wight. There's MGF could do that as well. And did I say MGF? If I did, I apologize. And if he does hear that, I'm probably going to get insulted. I'm pretty sure I said MJF. So MJF would be a decent first opponent. But I think there's also Mark Henry. I know Mark Henry. Mark Henry. Tony Khan said Mark Henry is going to have a number of matches. I know Mark Henry said he wants to have one more match, but Tony Khan said in an article that it's not just gonna be one more match. Mark Henry is gonna have a couple of matches for AEW. So maybe Paul Wight versus Mark Henry 1-on-1. That I know it's been done before, but when the fans want to see that, I think they would kind of stay away from that. I don't think they would. I don't think we would get Paul Wight versus Mark Henry. And if they do that, I think a lot of AEW fans are gonna start whining and complaining, saying, "Oh, it's WWE light. Look at what they're doing." So I think they're gonna stay away from that. My 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 guess is gonna be it's gonna be QT Marshall. That's my guess. I like I said, Ethan Page could do a great job becoming a thorn in the Big Show's side and just insulting him week after week until you want to see Paul Wight knock Ethan Page out. But I think QT Marshall could do that as well. And I think QT Marshall, he's got the factory, he's backing him up. I think QT Marshall would be a good first opponent for Paul Wight. So I'm going to go with QT Marshall or Ethan Page as the first opponents for for Paul Wight. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. And I'm almost certain we're going to see his in-ring debut very very soon. And I welcome it. Like I said, he had indicated that he's getting that itch again. When he came to AEW and he's seeing all the talent, he's getting that itch again to get into the ring. So expect to see Paul Wight in the ring very, very soon. Okay, yesterday on NXT, we had a big debut. In my opinion, it was a big debut. Trey Baxter, formerly known as Blake Christian, debuted for NXT in a match against the NXT Cruiserweight Champion Kushida. I was a big Blake Christian fan on the indie scene, and I'm going to admit I'm just getting back into NXT. The In Your House, the Takeover In Your House show was just fantastic. I watched it from start to finish. And I watched NXT last night, and it was a great show. So NXT, when I walked away from you about 2 years ago, but you pulled me back in, and I love the promotion, and I'm going to be watching NXT regularly now. But it was good to see Blake Christian, or I should say Trey Baxter, make his debut. As I said, I was a big Blake Christian fan. I'm a big Impact Wrestling fan, and I know they used Blake Christian a couple of times, but they didn't really make Blake Christian appear to be the star that he could be. He had a couple of good moments in Impact Wrestling, but he wasn't made out to be the star that he's going to be. This one match in NXT, in my opinion, made Trey Baxter, formerly known as Blake Christian, look like an absolute star against Kushida. He had an absolute fantastic showing against Kushida. Kushida is just fantastic. I loved Kushida since he was with the New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now this gives me another incentive to watch NXT because I was a big Kushida fan at New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now he's NXT Cruiserweight Champion. So another incentive for me to watch NXT because of Kushida. But Trey Baxter was just fantastic. They really made him look like a star. It was an open challenge. Kushida had an open challenge for the NXT Cruiserweight title. It was answered by Trey Baxter. He came out and he just gave it his all. He just left it all in the ring. It was a banger of a match. And I was very, very, very happy to see Trey Baxter do the great job they did. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of Trey Baxter in NXT. And they made him look like a star. He came out, like I said, he entered the open challenge and very nearly won the match. You knew he wasn't going to win. You knew Kushida was going to win. Kyle O'Reilly. I'm getting too excited again. Kyle O'Reilly was at ringside, and after the match was over, Kushida shook his hand, and then as he's leaving, Kyle O'Reilly looked at Trey Baxter and gave him a little pat on the back. They'll say, "Good job, kid." So Trey Baxter impressed a lot of people, and a lot of fans, a lot of wrestlers, including myself. So great job, Trey Baxter. It's good to see you in NXT, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you progress in NXT. I mean, this was a fantastic first match. Just think, this was the first match with Trey Baxter. Just think what we're going to get down the road. Just great, great, great stuff. Great stuff. And we saw the return of Samoa Joe as well. Samoa Joe returns. That was rumored that he was coming back, and Samoa Joe returned. He's going to be the enforcer for William Regal. William Regal remains general manager. Samoa Joe, you know, busy on his first night, chokes out Adam Cole, which was great. He chased Karrion Kross out of the ring, and great first night. It was great to see Samoa Joe back, and well, I'm gonna say it was great to see him back. I just started watching NXT again. And so it was great to see him back. I know he was coming back. I know there were rumors of him going to AEW or Impact Wrestling, but I guess Scott D'Amore could remove Samoa Joe from his Slammiversary Who's Showing Up video for Slammiversary, but I guess you can remove Samoa Joe because Samoa Joe is back with NXT, and he's not clear to wrestle. But once he's cleared to wrestle, I would think we're going to see Samoa Joe against Karrion Kross. I think that would be a tremendous, tremendous match for the NXT title. But it looked great. Like I said, it was it was hilarious when O'Reilly and Adam Cole were trying to get at each other, and Cole shoved Samoa Joe. The jacket comes off, and he just quickly chokes it out. He just quickly chokes out Adam Cole, and great stuff. There was a great stare down with Samoa Joe and Pete Dunne as well, which was really, really intense. So it was good some really, really good stuff on NXT last night, and I can't wait for the next episode of NXT. Now, I mentioned AEW. AEW is making its New York City debut in Queens, New York, at Arthur Ashe Stadium, tennis stadium. Like I said, in Queens, New York. Used to be the Forest Hills Tennis Stadium. Now it's called the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Queens, my hometown. AEW making its debut in my hometown of Queens, New York. Wish I was there for that, but unfortunately, I'm here in Windsor, Ontario. So I believe it's in September. I didn't write the date down, but I believe it's going to be in September. So AEW Dynamite coming to Arthur Ashe Stadium. I was looking. I mean, Chris Jericho said that they could have gone to MSG. They could have gone to MSG. They could have gone to Barclays Center, but they said WWE has already painted their brush on those arena, and they wanted to have their own. They wanted their own arena. They wanted their own identity. I mean, when you think of MSG, in professional wrestling, you think of WWE. But now, if you think of Arthur Ashe Stadium, you got to think of AEW. So they wanted their own identity, which was a smart move. And I was looking at the capacities. Arthur Ashe Stadium holds 23,771 people. Madison Square Garden for professional wrestling only holds 18,500 people. So there's like almost 6,000 more people at Arthur Ashe Stadium compared to Madison Square Garden. A little over 5,000, I should say. 5,200 more people at Arthur Ashe Stadium. And I have no doubt that AEW is going to sell out their debut in New York City. So it's going to be a great show. And I would love to see Paul Wight make his debut on this show. It will be very, very interesting to see if he does. But AEW making its New York City debut. I might find out for that. Again, it's my home borough. It's my hometown, Queens, New York. I grew up. I used to walk past the Arthur Ashe Stadium to go to Shea Stadium. Now AEW is making it its home stadium for professional wrestling, and it's gonna be a great show. I might fly down. Who knows? Maybe I'll fly down. Maybe I'll fly down and catch the show and go see a couple of old friends. Go get some pizza. Queens, New York pizza. Go to Valentino's, Casino Boulevard. Get a nice slice of pizza and enjoy some AEW wrestling. Maybe I'll look up Blaze Haram, see what he's doing. But anyway, it's great stuff. Great stuff. It's good to see AEW making its New York City debut. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Just a quick note. It's been made official. The IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Shingo Takagi will be defending his title at Wrestle Grand Slam at the Tokyo Dome on July 25th against Kota Ibushi. Holy smoke. This is going to be one hell of an outstanding, fantastic match. I cannot wait for this match. This is going to be absolutely incredible. Two of the absolute best in the world meeting at Tokyo Dome. Wrestle Grand Slam, July 25th. Wow. Just wow. Shingo Takagi, Kota Ibushi. My goodness. And there's going to be a lot of interaction between the two leading up. The build is going to be just fantastic. They were just in the ring with each other last night on the night number 2, Kazuna Road, and it was for 3 minutes. But my goodness, it was such a tremendous 3 minutes. Just the electricity between the two is. This is going to be a 5-star must-see match of the year. I can't wait for it, man. I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting all pumped. I can't July, and I'm on vacation too, so I don't have to worry about going to work. So I can wake up early. Whatever, if it's on 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't give a damn. I'm waking up. I'm going to watch that. That's going to be just an absolutely. They could just have one match on the show, and I'd be satisfied. That was just the one match. Just I cannot wait for that. And it's hard to say. I think Kota Ibushi is going to get the belt back. As I mentioned in my past podcast that I recorded yesterday, that Kota Ibushi originally lost the title because of his injured foot, but it appears his foot is 100% healthy. He had a terrific match against Jeff Cobb. He wrestled earlier this morning. He was in a 3-way match, a 6-man tag team match. He looked good. So it looks like and July 25th is a little over a month away. Gives more time for his foot to heal. So it looks like his foot is going to be fully healed. I think they're going to put the belt back on Kota Ibushi. I don't think he was supposed to lose that belt in the first place. But do you want to take it off of Shingo? I love Shingo. Shingo is so damn good, so talented, one of the best in the world. I think Shingo and Kota Ibushi are 1 and 1A and the best in the world right now. And this is going to be a hell of a match. This is going to be one hell of a match, man. I can't say it enough. Any professional wrestling fan has to see this match, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, and last but not least, Kaizen Pro Wrestling is returning to Dartmouth, Nova Scotia after a long absence due to this really stupid pandemic that we had to go through. But Kaizen Pro Wrestling will be back, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, July 24th. One of my favorites, the Kaizen Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion Kofi Christ, one of my absolute favorites in the world. Very, very talented Kofi Christ is defending the Kaizen Pro Wrestling heavyweight championship for the first time. It's his first title defense against one of the absolute legends of the maritime wrestling scene, pro wrestling scene, JP Sims. 2 out of 3 falls match. Kofi Christ versus JP Sims. JP Sims holds a pinfall victory over Kofi Christ, and which instantly makes him the number 1 contender. He defeated Kofi Christ prior to Kofi Christ winning the Kaizen Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. But this is going to be one hell of a main event at Kaizen Pro Wrestling on July 24th. Once again, Kofi Christ defending the Kaizen Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against JP Sims. 2 out of 3 falls. My goodness, this is going to be great. It's going to be an IWTV, not going to be live, but it's going to be taped for a future IWTV showing. It'll be on IWTV in the future, and this is going to be a great match. This is going to be a great main event, and it's good to see Kaizen Pro Wrestling back in Nova Scotia in the Maritimes. Pro wrestling in Canada in general has been non-existent due to this dumb pandemic. Hopefully that's changing now. Kaizen Pro Wrestling returning July 24th with a mega main event, and I hope other promotions soon follow suit as things are starting to open up and we need professional wrestling back in not just Nova Scotia, we need it back in Ontario because your boy Lewis Carlin hasn't been to a live show in such a long time, and I want to get to one. But congratulations, Kaizen Pro Wrestling. It's good to have you back. A big fan of the promotion, and I can't wait for this one. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it on IWTV. And once again, Kobe Christ defending the Kaizen Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against the number one contender, JP Sims. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. Until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.